Okay, so I'm here with Zoe today, and we're going to talk to you about some of the work that Herefordshire Mind are doing around peer support, and some of the ways that we're going to be using. Those of you who've been involved in the community partnership for some time will remember that we had different groups looking at different subject areas, and there was a group around mental health, and there was a small amount of funding that was going to be able to be used for some collaborative work. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about what a number of us are doing as a collaborative project around peer support. So, first of all, just to say a little bit around what Herefordshire Mind existingly do for peer support work. Oh, wrong way.
Brill, I'm just going to shout. If anyone... Oh, this is exciting. Okay. Is that better? Oh, this is very exciting. Okay, so just a little bit about what peer support is for those who might not know. So the ethos of peer support is about getting people together with a shared experience. It could be a lived experience or a living experience or a diagnosis to be able to support each other. So we've kind of started championing this a lot at Mind at the moment, and we've got a couple of different areas to kind of just talk you through what we're already doing. So we currently have 2 peer support workers in the complex emotional needs team in the NHS. So myself and a colleague run groups and offer one-to-one work specifically for people with a diagnosis around a personality disorder. So it's quite new for mental health services to have people with lived experience working directly alongside those NHS teams. So we're able to directly go in, share our own experience and talk about what it is to have that diagnosis, and then the stigma that comes along with having that as well. So we also have other groups. So we've got a group in Leicester, a group in Ledbury, and a group in Hereford, and one out towards Belmont. And these are groups run by our link workers. So these groups range from about 8 to 20 people a week. They're people that want to come together with a shared experience of a mental health diagnosis, and they offer support to each other. So it could be like a craft activity. Sometimes they go out to the cinema, which has been really lovely to see them kind of getting together outside of the groups as well. And then we do have groups in the evenings as well, who are run by lovely Ellie, who is our Safe Haven peer support worker. So at the moment she is running some mindfulness groups in the evening. She's running autism groups as well, which we've seen a huge influx of referrals from, and it's been really exciting to see where this pathway is going to grow. And finally, we've got our new peer support worker who is going to be in the early intervention team. So again, this is really new for mental health services. She's not, well, she's a little bit different to what myself and my colleague do. So we are that direct experience of having that diagnosis. She is going to be coming from a carer's angle, so offering carers support. This will be groups and a little bit of one-to-one to kind of, I guess, really be able to say to somebody, I get how you feel, I understand. Because a lot of the time, you know, as clinicians, we could say to people, we understand, but it's so powerful having somebody actually say, I get how you feel. So yeah, there'll be a bit more about her kind of coming up and the other kind of side of the project. But if anyone has any kind of queries or wants to know more about peer support, please just email me. I'm really happy to kind of like talk to anybody about the ethos of peer support. You know, we are a little small team. There's myself and a couple of others, and we work part-time over a couple of different projects, but we're really excited to see where peer support's going to grow from here. And I think I'm handing you back to Alicia, so I'm going to stop talking because I'll talk about peer support all day.
Thank you, Zoe. So, a little bit more information about what this new project is. Now, Zoe mentioned that we've just recruited a new family and carer peer support worker working with the early intervention team. And as that new role was coming on board, we were also in discussions with a number of other organisations as part of this work around what we were going to do with this small bit of funding for mental health. And what was coming through as a theme through our conversations was the real need for some peer support for families. So some support for those people who've got high school age kids who perhaps have lost some of those interactions that you used to get at the primary school gates with other mums and other parents. And actually once your kids hit high school, there can be quite a void of that kind of support from other parents sometimes. And if people are struggling with something that's going on for their child's mental health, actually to have some support around finding the way and how you can gain support around that was something that we were hearing there was a real gap for. We've been working very closely alongside CLD and Alex from CLD and Parent Carer Voice. I don't know whether Max is here. Oh, right. So she's not around today. But looking at how we're going to develop this. And so what we have done is with our new parent peer support parent carer role, we're adding an extra 5 hours onto her remit to work on this new project and to coordinate and facilitate some groups that will be aimed particularly at parents and carers of high school aged children with a low level mental health need. So those parents who are really struggling around what to do and where to get support for their child. And by combining this role, these hours, with our new role that was coming on board that works with the early intervention team, we're going to be able to tap into some of that clinical expertise that we get from the early intervention team. Those of you who've been at these before, Dr. Barney Major, who came along and talked to us a couple of sessions ago, he heads up that early intervention team. So it's working closely with his team. So the idea of the role is going to be that these peer support groups will be very much led by what the parents themselves want. So we're going to start working alongside CLD and Parent Carer Voice to try and reach the right people who want this kind of support and would be interested in getting involved in these kind of groups. And really listen to them about what's going to work for them and how they're going to run. As you've heard, we've got experience of running different peer support groups, but very much the ethos of those groups is always that they're shaped by the people who attend them and what the people who attend them want. So that's how we're going to look to develop these. At the moment, the plan is that we will run 6 weeks of peer support in 3 different cohorts. And exactly where that happens across the county is not yet decided, and we're looking at starting these groups. There'll be a group starting September, January, April, and ideally running from different venues across Herefordshire. But we want to hear where that demand is. We kind of are slightly nervous that we might be somewhat overrun because we do think there's going to be quite a lot of demand out there, but it's around trying this as a pilot. This is very much, we had a very small amount of funding to be able to do this, and it's very much as a pilot project, and Healthwatch are going to be working with us and supporting us in terms of evaluating the project, and then also within the project plan is to look at how we can get further funding to carry this on past those 3 lots of cohorts of the groups. So it's very much a development in progress, it's very much new, and we're going to see how it goes. It's absolutely about working collaboratively, and so working alongside CLD, Parent Carer Voice, looking at what those parents want to get out of those groups. So it might be that we bring in specialist knowledge from certain areas according to what the parents want and what they feel their needs are. So yeah, it's kind of going to hopefully grow quite organically, and we'll see where it ends up. But wanted to kind of fill everyone in around where that piece of project was going.